please take their seats? Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Thursday, April 27th, 2023, and welcome to the special meeting of the Milford Board of Aldermen. Please join me as we salute our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Alderman Archiola.
Present.
Alderman Beatty.
Present.
Alderman Broster. Alderman Casey.
Madam Secretary, Alderman Casey just walked in the chamber.
Thank you. Alderman Gurman. Alderman Genitasia.
Here.
Alderman Harla. Alderman Marlowe.
Here.
Alderman Moffett.
Here.
Alderman Mulrennan.
Here.
Alderman Pacelli.
Here.
Alderman Parente.
Here.
Alderman Vitro.
Here.
Alderman Vitale. Alderman Whitlis.
Here.
13 are present.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We do have a quorum. Alderman Harla, agenda item number 2.
Agenda item number 2A, new business. Pursuant to Article 2, Section 6 of the Charter of the City of Milford, Board of Aldermen is approval is requested for the appointment of Democrat Richard M. Smith of 59 6th Avenue to complete the anticipated unexpired mayoral term of Benjamin G. Blake, effective upon resignation.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
No, I have discussion, please.
Alderman Parente.
Thank you. Through you, Chairman, good evening, everyone, tonight. Could we get an update from the mayor with regard to the confirmation and the resignation and the vacancy? Where are we tonight with regard to that?
Mr. Chairman, through you to Alderman Parente, first and foremost, for the past 12 years that I've served as mayor, I appreciate the support of this board. This has been my greatest professional opportunity and honor to serve the city of Milford as mayor, and it is with a heavy heart that I submitted a resume. Again, the resume was effective upon being sworn in. Right now, the governor nominated me. I went through the Judiciary Committee, the House, and the Senate. Those bodies have confirmed me to be an administrative law judge. I do have to take the oath of office for the new post, and I am scheduled to do that Monday, May 1st. So effective Monday, May 1st, when I take the oath of office, I will be officially stepping down as Milford's mayor, again, with a heavy heart, because this has been such a great opportunity, and it's something that I have worked very hard at, and it is a city that I will continue to advocate for and on behalf of.
Great, thank you. Through you, Chairman, again. So at this point, you are still our mayor?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. So if we were to do this appointment this evening, you would still be our mayor after it?
Until Monday.
Pardon me?
Until Monday.
Until Monday, okay. So I guess my question to our leadership is, is this meeting actually in order this evening?
Say that again?
Is our meeting in order this evening by the charter, by our chartered authority?
Correct.
To appoint the vacancy? Because
Correct.
I think by our charter we have to have a vacancy. I don't think we have a vacancy at this time.
According to the charter, correct. Is there any more discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. At this time, will Rich Smith come forward to be sworn in by our city clerk, Karen Fortunati?
Pardon me, I didn't say aye. I think we should do a roll call vote, please.
Madam Secretary,
And I
roll
think
call,
someone
please.
else indicated discussion, Chairman. I think someone was indicating discussion.
Matt, he didn't raise his hand. He didn't say it. He didn't raise his hand, so.
Okay, yeah, through you, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry, I just wanted to look over something. I didn't want this to go through without expressing just a little bit of concern, not with the candidate, but with the lack of essentially opportunity to vet or communicate with leadership. Early on in this process, we received communication from our leadership that we would not simply usher in whatever the DTC recommended. We would be allowed an opportunity to ask questions and to, we simply wouldn't green stamp whoever was brought before us. And I feel like a half hour before another scheduled meeting doesn't afford us enough time for that. And so that's just a concern that I wanted to be on record for.
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman Willis.
Yes, I think this motion is definitely in order, and I think the process is being followed properly, and I fully endorse Rich Smith for mayor. He's done a great job in the city for the last several years, and I think he'll work great with department heads. He's the chairman of the police commission, so I will be voting for him tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Willis. Alderman Parente.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, this doesn't come down to the individual, it just comes down to process. And I think according to our charter, I just want to adhere to the process. I want to make sure this is a transparent and open thing for our community. We have over 51,000 residents. Each one of us is representative of our constituents. And I think that's something I pledge to do as an alderman, and I want to make sure that we do it the right way. So I don't know if Attorney Bertram could also comment on the fact that our charter does state it needs to be a vacancy. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, through you, Alder Parente, yes, the charter says vacancy. The resolution before you says anticipated vacancy. So I think that the vote is in order. The vacancy in terms of when Mr. Smith takes his oath, it's not a question I'm prepared to answer tonight, because in terms of the timing, whether he takes it tonight or Monday, but the vote is in order because it's anticipated upon the mayor taking the oath from the governor. I hope that's responsive to your question.
Because I think our chartered authority is to appoint a vacancy.
Again, there is a vacancy, when the vacancy commences.
So would that make sense to do this meeting next week rather than this evening? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, according to our chartered authority.
This board can have the special meeting. It voted on a resolution. In fact, the vote already happened, from what I can tell, from what I heard, to name Richard Smith upon the anticipated unexpired term. That's Monday. I agree with you that the charter does say vacancy. I'm saying that the vote was taken and it was proper.
Mr. Chairman, as Mayor Designee Smith approaches to be sworn in by our city clerk, I do want to say a great big congratulations. There is nobody in this city more prepared than Rich. There's nobody who knows the ins and outs of Milford more than Rich Smith. He is ready to roll up his sleeves and start right away, and I am looking forward to that seamless transition and looking forward to helping give him advice as the need arises. But again, he is ready to lead and serve our community and our citizens.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderman Beatty.
Thank you, Chairperson Vitro. I'm going to go back to the process. I think you know my vote. We already talked. You did your homework. All the alders did the homework. But I was looking forward tonight. Number one, I thought that the reason we almost had the special meeting on Friday, which in this particular week was a hardship for me, but I thought they have to do that because they have to wait till Thursday when you're confirmed and you resign. So that's the way I understood the process. Forgive me for being on the process. Too much focus on that. Then when it was tonight, I was surprised why it was a half hour. I even thought it gyps the candidate, sorry to use that term, but it cheats the candidate out of a chance to say what you would do for the alders. In the conversations that I had with you, you did talk about your relationship with the unit heads and how it would be different. And I have particular questions, as even people in the audience know, about the tight knots that we now have on our budget. And what would you do magically? I was going to ask you that and give you an opportunity to have it in the record and then maybe hold you to it, of course. So I don't know why we squeezed it so fast. Now it makes it look suspect. We might have made it May 1. I even put it in the email today. I talked to the mayor about, May 1, we seem to be jamming things. And nothing as important as this has happened in 70 years. We had a half an hour caucus. Maybe you want to blow your own horn a little. It takes more than a half an hour. So that's my 2 cents. But I also think that the chairperson misunderstood the question from Alderman Parenti. Just she said, what does the charter say? That's what the charter said. Now, the charter says upon resignation, whether that's a technicality. But I expected you to resign today and then come in. And then on Monday, it would be a bigger goodbye and thank you and a hello. And I don't know why we rushed that unless it was a maneuver.
Alderman Beatty, Mr. Smith had an elegant speech about who he was and what he's going to be doing at our town committee.
That was before we had a crisis.
I don't think there was any question about what his qualifications are and what his plans are as he becomes mayor.
You misunderstood me. I didn't mention his qualifications or his plans, and we didn't have a budget in front of us the night on April 4th when he spoke to us so elegantly at the DTC. We hadn't started the budget process. It was only after we started the budget process, got our books the night of the aldermanic meeting, and the mayor announced the next day that there was a freeze on personnel, that it changed the budgetary situation and what we're doing. Please don't make me like I'm just not thinking about this and taking sides. I'm not. And we talked about that, Mr. Smith and I talked about it, and some of the answers were good. But everybody should hear them, including the public, because the questions are as enlightening as the answers.
At this time, Mr. Smith, come forward to be sworn in by our city clerk, Karen Fortunati.
Point of order. Point of order. Does that mean we have 2 mayors?
Mr. Chair, through you again, we only have 1 mayor at a time. Just like when there's a president-elect or a mayor designee, upon this formal step down. So right now, when I step down, Rich Smith will become, right now is the mayor designee, and then will become the official mayor upon my resignation. Again, that's how the letter of resignation in your packet reads, and that's how the resolution reads.
Point of order 3, Mr. Chair. I don't see that in the charter, that it allows for that. Does anybody have that in the charter, the mayor designee?
I've never
seen that.
Again, I think that the city attorney just offered his legal opinion.
It's not in the charter.
Mr. Chair, through you, I don't think there's a question that looked at me, but I'm seeing eyes upon me, and I'll agree with, through you to Alder Prente. There's not a, or Alder Bros, there's not a provision for mayor designee. There's a ceremonial swearing in, but
But I think, in point of order, I think it's, I don't, like, the vote took place, but I'm talking about the swearing in piece of it.
that's exactly what I'm answering. The vote took place.
Mr. Chairman?
It's approved, but I don't believe it's appropriate to swear in.
Alderman Willis.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Through you, just a statement. I'm trying to think, I hear everybody's opinions here, and I understand certainly what you're trying to say, but I do not see how delaying this vote any longer benefits the city. I think it would be detrimental to the city to
Point of
delay
order,
this.
the vote took place. You're talking about the swearing in work, or Alderman Willis.
So it was, the vote took place unanimously, correct?
I mean,
Okay, so it's
yes,
okay.
Chair.
All right, I know it did, but I didn't know if we, okay. I usually don't have discussion after a vote, that's why I'm confused. Usually after the vote,
We took the vote.
did we vote yet or not?
We took the vote. There was time for discussion. We were in the discussion phase. There was no more discussion. And we voted. Yes. Don't say no. We had a discussion.
We voted, it was
And we voted.
unanimous.
We voted. And then.
Mr.
and then
Chairperson,
someone popped up.
we did not
I didn't-
finish
I
voting.
didn't see his hand raised, so he raised his hand a little late. So then I recognized him after the vote, which actually I shouldn't have had to do because the vote was already taken. Yes, Alderman Pacelli.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chairman, I just think that there's an awful lot of confusion right now. There was at least from my perspective, there was a motion, there was a second made, there was some discussion, there was a vote taken. I heard, and I believe there's a record of this, there was a unanimous consent after the fact. Some discussion has occurred, and I think there was some confusion as to whether or not future mayor would be sworn in today or not. I believe the city attorney has spoken and again noted that there would be no swearing in until after our existing mayor steps down, resigns. And I don't know what else there is to speak about at this point.
Mr. Chairman, given the gravity of the situation, though, I do think it appropriate if we have or we ask Rich Smith to come and address the board at this time. Mr. Mayor Designate.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wasn't actually expecting to say anything. Just sit there and look handsome. No, I would encourage us to adjourn, and I'll wait and be sworn in on Monday. Whatever is best. I look forward to the work that awaits me. As some of you know, I've met with department heads, I've toured the city, I've toured our projects out there. I've spoken to each of you individually, even Alderman Beatty, about the budget. Keep in mind, I don't have a formal role in the budget, you guys do, but I certainly want to be part of that with both sides of the aisle. But at the end of the day, that's an aldermanic decision. But I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the work that awaits me, the opportunities to change the culture. I mean, Mayor Blake and I are different people, and he knows that. And I look forward to, as I've told the department heads and I've told each of you, to leave this office a little better than I found it. To leave the relationships with the department heads a little better than I found it. And although this may not be politically popular to say, the relationship with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I want to make that a lot better. I mean, we see the tone changing, even in Hartford. And I have the utmost respect for our members on the Republican side. and I want to be able to work closely with them. It's not about strategy or tactics or campaign issues. It's about doing what's best for the city of Milford. I don't have a long tenure here. I'm replacing the mayor for 7 months. So my scope is reasonable. When I talked to the department heads, I said, tell me what I can do to make your job a little easier, make your life a little better in the 7 months I have. And don't give me big ticket items. Those might be hard. And that's my goal, is to work more closely with our friends on the other side of the aisle, to work more closely with the department heads. And when I walk out the door in November, I'm hoping you'll all say, okay, did a hell of a job. My goal is realistic, it's obtainable, it suits my personality and my talents, if I have any. But I certainly come into this job with my eyes wide open and with the utmost respect for everyone on this board, many of whom I helped get elected. In fact, all of whom I helped get elected on this side. So thank you. Thank you for your support, your vote tonight. I will always be accessible to any of you. You say that we're not transparent, call me. I don't care if it's the middle of the night. Call me. I will be accessible, I'll share, and hopefully, as I said in November, you'll say, yeah, that worked. So again, thank you, each of you, for your support tonight. And I look forward to getting to work. Thank you.
Mr. Chairperson?
Alderman Parenti.
Thank you. Could we get a roll call vote, please? 'Cause I'm not clear. I don't know that our votes were recorded. Thank you.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Chair, point of order. Is it, Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Right, Vitale.
Point of order. The vote is already taken. To ask for a roll call vote after, it's non-existent, I would imagine. I think the vote was taken. That was it.
It happened so quickly, I didn't vote. I did not verbalize my vote,
Well,
so.
I don't know whose fault that is, but the vote was
Well-
already taken. I don't see it necessary to have a
Okay,
roll
well,
call vote.
I guess since it's such an important vote, as was said, we should certainly make sure that each of our votes are recorded.
We're going to be starting the other meeting at the recess of this meeting, at the adjournment of this meeting, so won't be any sense of having a roll call right now.
Mr. Chair, I don't see the harm in having a roll call vote. In an abundance of caution, if there's a request, I understand Alderman Vitale's position, and I understand some of the other positions as well, but at this point, if you'd like to do a roll call vote, I think it's in order.
Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll again, please?
Alderman Archiola.
Because of my displeasure at the lack of communication from our leadership, I'm going to abstain from this vote. It has nothing to do with the candidate himself. I am unhappy with the process, the lack of transparency and communication. Thank you.
Alderman Beatty. Alderman Broster. Alderman Casey.
Yes.
Alderman Gurman. Oh, sorry. Alderman Gennatasio.
Yes.
Alderman Harlow. Alderman Marlowe.
Yes.
Alderman Moffett.
Yes.
Alderman Morenin.
Yes.
Alderman Picelli.
Yes.
Alderman Parente.
Again, nothing to do at all with the candidate tonight, but just the lack of clarity around our process and the fact that it's confusing to me that we're doing this ahead of our chartered authority. I'm going to abstain. Thank you.
Alderman Vitro.
Present.
Yes or no? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Alderman Vitale.
I just think this is a travesty. We voted unanimously. It was roll call. I mean, it was recorded as a unanimous vote. Everybody's vote was an aye. Now we have abstentions, so how do you change all the votes, and what's the process and what's the purpose? I vote yes.
Alderman Willis.
Yes.
$11 yeses, 2 abstention, and Alderman Brewster not voting.
One more time, I'm sorry, Madam Secretary.
11 yeses, 2 abstentions, and Alderman Brewster has stepped out, so he did not vote.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.
11.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, we have a motion.
Alderman Pacelli.
May I make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'm sorry?
May I make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Yes, you can.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded for adjournment. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.